Are we on? I think we're on. Oops, I've got a call coming in. I ain't gonna take it. I'll tell you why. Because today I'm a rebel. A rebel without a cause. Now, what would be the cause? I don't know. When you're young, well, when some people are young, when they wanted to rebelize. They wanted to rebel rouse. They wanted to tear it all up and start again. Well, you don't want to fool around with that. Well, today is June 17th, 2024. You know, they got a new holiday out called Juneteenth. Now, I'm not exactly sure. Well, I mean, you know, it's a holiday. I mean, is it a holiday? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's like this. When I came to life, there was a certain set of holidays. There was New Year's Day, Valentine's Day, President's Day, April Fool's Day, Labor Day, Memorial Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Now, these new holidays that have come along, I mean, I can understand Martin Luther King Day. I was there when Martin Luther King was also there. And, you know, so it was cool. You know, I mean, the guy had an impact. Now, I may like what I like, but I can say this. My life has been about one holiday to the next. I mean, you start summer with Memorial Day. If you don't know that, you miss out on 1/3 of the summer every year. Now, after that comes, you know, 4th of July. It's the mid-cycle horn that tells you, hey, summertime is going. But it's placed so that there's still, well, basically 2 months left. Then comes Labor Day. If you don't know Labor Day is the end of summer, you're going to be going to the beach when it's cool and cold. And after that, you hunker down, go back to school, and the weather changes. It becomes fall. Fall is not a bad time of year. And then comes the winter. We've had mild winters lately, and right now we're having a mild summer. So, with that in mind, I was going over my videos, and I started talking about the pandemic. And, you know, I'm glad I have a mid-pandemic or in-depth of pandemic video, because you don't remember how you felt unless you have a video at the moment. Now, I'm no longer 65. I'm 68. And that is its own thing. And I think that the problem with being old now is Joe Biden, because everybody that sees an old man thinks he's got to be like Joe Biden, and they treat you as if you're, you know, retarded. Or what's the other word that they get? They get, is it dyslexia? Well, you know what I say, you got dyslexia, just turn everything upside down, you'll be fine. But no, it's that thing you get when you get old. Alzheimer's, dementia. Well, everybody thinks you got Alzheimer's or dementia because Joe Biden is in the news all the time acting like, well, he's not even acting. He's just lost his marbles. A friend of mine said, who told you that he lost his marbles? Like, you got to be told. Who told you the house is on fire? It's not. It just looks like it might be. Anyway, neither here nor there. So, you know, you think that history has stopped at any given time. And I look at it this way. Who expected, okay, start here. Who expected a black man to be elected president? Who expected a TV comedian to be, well, he's not a comedian, he's a guy. Who thought that Uncle Don would become president? And then Joe Biden, and then George Floyd, and then the pandemic, the riots, and now we're out the other side. And you think, man, all that goes in the rearview mirror, and you become, you know, nostalgic about it. You know, another thing to be nostalgic about is, you know, somehow I think I look great, but when I was a young guy, I'd be able to flirt with women, you know, kind of chat them up, and occasionally things happen nowadays, but we're way too old. You know, they think I'm a grandpa. Me? I mean, you know, I look like a happening young dude, you know? Anyway, look at the nose hairs. I gotta trim those babies because I'm going out today. I am going out. I'm coming out. I want the world to see that I've got a tree in the forest of me that you can climb. Anyway, here's a brief overview of my life. I was born in Buffalo, New York. I was reared, no, I was never reared. My father never touched me, but I was raised in Hamden, Connecticut until I was 10 years old. It was a beautiful suburban, you know, play life, and I have plenty of memories, and but I wouldn't want to go. I don't know, maybe I would want to go back. But anyway, then there was we moved. My mother was a teacher, so we moved to the town where she taught. My parents split up. I thought that was exciting, and anyway, so we moved to New Haven, the Westville section. Then we moved up to what they call Amity and the Amityville Horrors. No, but we had Janie Schrebernick was there. She was also in Hamden. I have no idea what's come of her since. Anyway, so then there was Richard Charm, and then we moved to West Haven. I spent 5 years at West Haven High. Graduated, we moved to New Haven, and oh my, I had to make a living. What do? You got to make a living? I mean, I thought my parents were responsible for me. Anyway, I moved out to Detroit. I stayed there for 4 years. I came back to New Haven. I was homesick. I thought, I will never, ever move again unless there's a reason. Now, why did I say that? Unless there's a reason. 93, I moved to Tallahassee. I was sober. I had a girlfriend, and, she was a communist. Like, golly, man, you wouldn't believe. And, but yeah, we were very domestic for 5 years. Can you believe that? I had a domestic 5 years in Tallahassee, Florida, as an exterminator. Then we moved up to Michigan. I was hoping to get a new state. I'd already lived in Michigan. But anyway, my 14 years in mid-Michigan was the longest I've ever stayed anywhere. My wife and I mercifully split. One day I realized that she was what she was, and the next day she took off. I didn't even tell her. I guess she just must have heard the news elsewhere. But anyway, I didn't even tell anybody. But anyway, then I stayed in Michigan, and I retired in 2012. They gave me $150,000, which for a guy like me is more than enough. And I could have gone anywhere, so now I know. Then I knew that I didn't want to go anywhere. And I stayed. I moved down south, moved to Athens, Georgia on a lake. And then after a year and 8 months or 9 months, moved to the town of Athens. That town is imbecilic. But, I got a job at a Kroger, and then I moved to South Carolina. I wanted to catch up on the states, So that was state number 6. I lived with Carla, who was my landlady. I was going to church. I went to church for a whole 9-10 years, you know what I mean? And I would still be going, except the communist district of New Haven, Connecticut. Churches are Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ bastions of nonsense. Well, I really got going, man. And anyway, so after that, I moved to New Haven. No, I moved to Connecticut, and I stayed with Marty. Then I stayed in the YMCA. I'll tell you, you gotta have my life to really understand what adventuring is about. And I hang with my sister. Oh, yeah, she was a great sister. I hung with my sister for those 3 years, and then the pandemic came, and I moved to New Haven, where I'm at now, about for 4 years. Not quite 4 years, but I don't know, a month and a half shy of 4 years, and here I am, an old doddering guy that's hobbles around town, and I really went through a low period because, I just thought, where do I go from here? Anyway, it's good that I make this video. I get to see me as me and not as you, and, my mother was Jewish. That makes me Jewish. I'll tell you, it's a wonderful thing. And my father was Catholic, but he was a lapsed, as they say, Catholic. But anyway, I'm on my own. I'm an orphan, And so it's Monday, June 17th, 2024, and this is 10 Minutes of Dave. I know you want to see the rest. I know you want me to take the camera way down south and yonder, but we're not going there. Anyway, I thank you very much, and we'll see you next time here on WDPB 98.9 out of New Haven, Connecticut.